Welcome everyone to the Existential podcast. I'm your host Jonas. I'm joined by my two co-hosts Hunter and Jeremiah. Today we're going to be talking about the Fletcher's paradox. How you guys doing today?
Doing great.
Doing fantastic. How are you?
My head kind of hurts. I don't know why. I think it's because I haven't drinking enough stuff today. So today might be short. It might be long. I have no idea because this was a one-off thing.
We
But
writ it with AI. It was written with AI.
it's brought to in part by Bigsby AI. I mean, I reworded a lot of it because I didn't like the way fucking he worded my shit,
Brought to you by.
and it was mainly because I just didn't have enough time to do shit. I was working on my car.
Bigsby. No one knows who that is.
It's
Yeah.
Android's AI, right?
No,
the
it's
Android-
Google's.
Oh, it's Google's
It's
AI.
Google's. Yeah, I renamed him to Bigsby.
Oh, okay.
I got that on my
what's
phone.
Google's AI name? Really?
Google Assistant.
Google's
Yeah, I didn't like that. So or Gemini. I think it's Gemini.
Or-
Yeah.
I don't know. Fuck.
So don't get Gemini mixed up with the actual Bigsby, which is Samsung's fucking Siri.
Yeah, I renamed the Google's AI to Big. No, anyways, we're gonna start with a scenario. Imagine you're shooting a gun at a target and you have a camera set up to take several pictures of the bullet to see if you're able to calculate the speed of the bullet. However, when you look at the pictures, you notice that you can't really see the bullet moving, as if it's motionless. Why doesn't the bullet appear to be moving?
Because you're catching it in a frame of time, so it just frozen in time. Just a snapshot of time.
So you shot a bullet and it's
You shot a bullet and
Okay.
you're taking a picture of you shooting that bullet to see if you can calculate how fast the bullet.
Okay.
And it's like a bunch of pictures. I don't know what the hell the thing on the camera's called, but it will take a shit ton of pictures at once.
Yeah.
Well, when you go to look at the pictures, it doesn't look like it's moving at all. Why is that?
Like it doesn't look like it's rotating.
Yeah,
it's
it
showing
looks
your
like
face.
it's still.
But it's like you're seeing it like move across, or
Like
you're
it's
saying
going
it's
straight
just
across
still.
the screen, but it
It's-
doesn't look like it's rotating.
Yeah, every time you switch, the bullet will move to a different position, but you
But-
can't actually see the bullet moving. Yeah, why doesn't the bullet appear to be moving?
Moving as in rotating, right? Or we're talking about
Just-
moving as in like in general.
In general, like it moving to its target. Like say we shot a target like a bullseye or something. Why doesn't
And
it
we
look-
took. So I'm
This
kind
is
of
a
piecing
side-
together. I'm
this
kind
is
of
a
piecing
side
together.
profile.
Okay, just a side profile, and it's out of the gun, and we just did a quick like that, like we
Yeah.
did a quick snapshot. And where the question is, why isn't it moving?
Yeah, why doesn't it appear to be moving? We're looking at the picture.
Because you took a frame perfect fucking picture of a
Yeah, it's
essentially a
image,
still
yeah.
image. Yeah.
Yeah.
You took an image of an object at a certain place and time.
Yeah.
And captured it.
So this is where this paradox
I
gets
guess the light. I guess
fucking-
it's light.
This is where
you're
it gets
taking, so.
crazy. It was said many centuries ago that time moves in instances. So they move. Time moves in still, basically like still pictures. It's just in rapid succession.
Mm-hmm.
And then an instant is defined as a precise moment in time that is durationless. There's no time cannot pass in an instant.
Okay.
So with that logic, are objects really ever in motion? Because if you were to look at an object in an instance, it can't be moving because it needs time to move, and time doesn't exist in an instant. But time is made up of a bunch of instances.
So the question is, if an object is like your computer or whatever, it's still, or your TV is still, you're saying it doesn't have time. 'Cause it's
Anything. So me moving my hand up and down right now,
okay.
it's not actually moving. Time, motion is an illusion, because if we were to take a picture of my hand right here, it's not moving. Now, if we were to go down and take a picture of it again, it's still not moving in the picture, but we had to get from up to down somehow. However, time itself moves in instances. So if it's like we take every like millisecond, It's technically faster than that because an instance is just anything, but
Mhm.
time is made up of a bunch of instances.
Okay.
So, like, time is moving because the motion's happening?
Because the
So
motion's happening,
okay.
yeah.
Right, but um, because time works in instances, the paradox says that nothing can ever be in motion because an instance has no duration.
I don't fucking know.
What? Like obviously, I'll start with the if objects are really in motion. The answer is yeah,
Yeah.
and it's because we have a better understanding of how time actually works. It's called real time, real dash time, and
Time dot delta time.
it's
Mhm.
a relative fucking thing based on a bunch of shit. But basically, what it is I don't even remember what the fuck it is that I looked up on real time. Now that I'm thinking about it, I was trying to go back to like what I read. Uh, yeah. Oh,
Damn, he
Well, poor
folded.
guy.
He
whoops.
folded.
This man was making fuel lines.
Host
Making
Yeah,
fuel lines. The
101.
fuel's gotten to him.
the
He forgot
feel
what
got
real
to me.
time is.
But yeah, our understanding of time now is everything works in real time. Is
Mhm.
the quote unquote name of it. It doesn't move in instances.
Okay, so the theory we're talking about is like hundreds of years
Y-
old.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
centuries old.
Okay.
Mm.
That makes
It was thought about from a philosopher named uh, Eno or something like
motherfucker
that.
was just sitting in the room still. He's like, he's
What
just
if
thinking,
shit?
is time passing right now because I'm thinking, or are we frozen?
Mhm.
That motherfucker was high.
No, yeah, for sure. My man was fucking out, dude. What?
Time is all relative, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
time is 100%.
I think I sent you the Neil deGrasse Tyson shit, the Andromeda paradox is what it was.
I don't remember.
Where this is so fucked up.
It's
But
Eno, that's the guy.
so do you know how far Andromeda is from our galaxy?
It's like a light year, right?
It's something
Like
crazy,
1.2.
right? So because of the distance, if you were placed somewhere, let's say you're on a field, right? And I'm right next to you on the field, but I'm running past you, and
Yeah.
we both look up at the same time and look at Andromeda, like the galaxy Andromeda, we would both see a different point in time in Andromeda. You would see, let's say, like today, well, I will see like a week ahead of time because I'm moving.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That movement is just enough that it translates all the way across Andromeda, and I'm pretty much like time traveling in a way.
Yeah.
It's similar to like drifting, like or not drifting, but like space drifting. Like if you move a little inch, it may not be enough, but like as it keeps going, that inch becomes
It's
a fucking
exponential
yard,
growth.
a mile.
Yeah.
Like it keeps, yeah. And that's similar to like how I guess time works in that manner, or how light works in that manner.
Right.
That little like me just running by Jonas,
Mhm.
and we both looking up at Andromeda, I'm gonna see a week difference than he will. He will see today or whatever, and I'll see like a week ahead or whatever the shit is. That's fucked up. And I guess they were saying something like time isn't equal for everyone.
Mhm.
Like we're all experiencing time differently, but it's
Oh,
just
for
at a
sure.
such like
Yeah.
minute scale that it we all appear to be um
Interacting at the same
interacting
time.
at the same time,
Yeah.
even though it's
Yep.
not.
I think I see something where it's kind of similar to that. Like if you like the moment you were born, they put a watch on you that never dies. They put one on you and on your mom, and they start at the same time exactly, like to the nanosecond.
Mhm.
Your watch, I think, is either like the child's watch is either ahead or behind one or the other by like a certain amount of time because whatever fucking caused the travel time differently. I forget
Yeah.
some butcher phrase.
Could be speed, like usually speed.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's how it is in
for
space.
growth.
That the craziest part about it is like time on different planets. It's just wild.
Yeah, I what was it? I fucking watched another. It was like if there's like a planet in some galaxy that if you were on it for, uh, like, if you were 20 and you're, like, 25, you come back, like, if you were on that planet just for that 5 years, came back to Earth, all your friends would be dead, and it'd be, like, completely different.
Hmm.
Because the time passed so slowly because it was near a black hole, I think, why. And it, like, makes time so slow around it that
Yeah,
you
time
age
dilation
slower.
stuff, yeah.
Time
That's fucking crazy. So I wonder if like this is me getting like not conspiracy theory, but like what if a civilization was just born near a black hole? They were just technically they would be behind, right? Like behind. Let's say like we have a civilization that's near a black hole, where time is just like slow for them against this other that's outside of it.
Yeah.
They were the civilization outside the black hole will, I guess,
They'll
in
have
theory, like
more time to develop.
yeah, more time to and more technology
Yeah.
to build than the. So it's kind of a disadvantage.
Yeah.
It's kind of an advantage, but a disadvantage. Like it's an advantage
You
because
age
you can,
slower,
yeah, you
and you
age
can live
slower,
longer, technically.
but you don't. You're not advanced. Like you're not.
There's not those fast advances.
Yeah. So you kind of want to like,
I think there is, uh,
right?
there was something on it about, like, if you're closer to a black hole, time moves slower for the outside people, but faster for you. So you can advance like tenfold, um, but the outside will see you like barely moving at all outside of it.
Like, you'll age
Mm.
slower than
Yeah, yeah, you could like live a million years in a black hole, and outside will only be like a minute.
yeah, so you can just like, send your kid to Dagestan for wrestling. Send him there to learn wrestling from could be 5 years and come back and destroy
Hmm.
Yeah.
Be a literal bear. That's what it would be.
literally, put him against
A bear
yeah.
from fucking Tekken.
Oh my god. You were, I guess we were just like kind of talking about this, but how does the thought of time and motion correlate if time always works in instances?
Like, how do they
Yeah, how do they work? How do they work in conjunction? In conjunction, Jesus Christ. If time is it works in instances, and motion can only work if there is time.
I mean, I'm thinking about it kinda like I think about it like blink.
Hmm.
Like, you can blink as my hand's down here, and you blink right as I move it up. It will look like my hand was just here and then it was up.
Yeah,
That's kinda how I'm thinking about it, but, like
yeah. You have to perceive that it moved somehow.
yeah.
Impossible for it to go from one area to the next without time passing.
Yeah, like, you wouldn't see me, like, straight raise my hand up, but what I could've really done in between your blink was do a fucking, like, whatever you wanna call that,
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
the
like a
Windmill.
windmill.
windmill and put my
Yeah,
hand up there, but your brain just automatically makes you think, "Oh, and his
yeah,
hand's just above his head now," so
yeah. It fills in the blanks.
yeah. So it'd probably just be your brain filling in the blank for the mesh part. I don't know how I can
Yeah,
actually
it's
make it work.
seamlessly meshing
Yeah,
the instances together.
yeah.
Do you think it would be
Correlates.
that, or you think it's like light that does that?
Probably
Mm.
light. It's
Well,
probably a
it's gotta be
mix.
both, right? Because light is the only way you can see stuff.
If we
Yeah,
were in
well,
a
so
Visible
if we
yeah,
were
light.
in a
like
pitch black room, like, literally no light source, no there's no light source coming off of us to
We're
see
gonna
each
we're gonna
other.
skip a couple questions because we're talking about it right now. But if you point a strobe light at something,
mhm.
um, it appears like it's not moving at all, but you know that it
Like, it
has
just
to
looks like
be
a solid
moving
light
The
because
photons,
because it's turning off and on or what?
no, no, no. So if you point a
wavelength.
strobe light
Mhm.
at somebody running across the room,
Okay.
It would
every
stop them.
every time you see them, they're in a different spot, but it looks like they're not moving at all.
So it just looks like they're in this fucking the Jordan pose the whole time practically.
About
Yeah,
to dunk on you.
yeah.
They're just stuck like that, but you know they're moving because 'cause they're in a different
Because
spot.
they're in a different location,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Okay.
I forgot totally what the fuck I was gonna say on that, but we were on the topic of being in a dark room, and that made me think of the strobe light thing. But yeah, it would be like that. Like, why does an object appear like it's not moving when we're using a strobe light every time the light flashes? But we know that they have to be moving because each time the light flashes, they're in a different location.
Like, why does that happen? Why
I think it's an illusion. I think is what it is, like an optical illusion. Like your brain with the light or whatever is registering this object in front of you, that it doesn't see the motion. So your brain's picking it up as like, okay, it's just staying
Yeah,
still, and
yeah,
kind of like teleporting in a way.
yeah,
If that
and
makes sense.
your, like, consciousness knows that it has to be moving because it cannot just teleport.
Mhm.
That strobe lights fuck up my eye, like, fuck with my balance, my vision,
Dude,
everything.
strobe lights
So I
crazy.
get just so fucking, like, you
Distorted.
could fuck me up if you just get me in a room full of strobe lights.
Yeah.
Like, if you wanted to beat my ass, you could just put me in a room full of strobe lights, close your eyes, and just start swinging. You'll get me.
Like a dude from Glass, they put him in that room and just fucking keep
Yeah.
flashing the lights
Dude,
or
you
whatever,
keep
change
flashing that light, I'm
personalities.
fucked. 'Cause I will literally just close my eyes and fall over. Like, I can't do it. It's so bad.
I like walking strobe lights. It's interesting how your brain has to try to perceive how to walk during a strobe light.
It's so
Even
weird.
though the room doesn't change from when the light was just statically on.
Yeah, it's like your eyes are constantly doing the adjusting. So it's probably like your FOVs change, like the best way I can put it. Probably like that. Kinda like your
Bro,
brain
you're
just like
lagging, dude.
over, yeah,
I'm
Yeah,
playing
over
at
like
fucking 5 frames a second, dude.
network connectivity.
Yeah.
I don't know. Can you walk and like blink like
At the
open your eyes,
same
close,
time as
open
this
like that? No, I'm talking about like
and
no,
it
like take
and
away the show
create the
just
yeah,
in like
create the
life.
Straight
Like
up
effect
could
of
you,
it.
blinking,
yeah, like could you still walk properly if you like
you probably gonna
blink
be
and like
dead.
open your eyes, blink, but like
I think
But
you would
rapid,
at like a rapid rate.
I think you'd have to get used to that. I think your
yeah,
brain would be like because your brain has 3 main nerves, and it needs those for balance. I don't know if you've ever tried to, like, stand on one foot with your eyes open and then close them while you're standing on one foot, but
but
it's your balance, like, gets way worse when you close your eyes.
yeah, I think you would probably eventually get used
That
to it,
makes sense actually, yeah.
but like keep your the first few moments probably
Yeah, you'd be
wobble.
swaying, or
You
you'd
Yeah.
could
look
probably
drunk.
still stand up. You'd probably wobble a lot.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You'd look like you
Yeah,
got
to
caught.
you, it wouldn't look like there's a change, but from the outside like, an outside perspective, somebody would know that there's something wrong
Yeah,
or you're doing something.
something weird.
They'd be like, "Why is this guy walking around blinking really fast?"
You're blinking so fast. It looks like your eyes are open.
No
No.
shit. A, to make this make a little bit more sense, the whole, like, paradox thing, a flip book is the illusion of motion, right?
Yeah.
Because if you, flip a flip book, it looks like whatever object is in the flip book is moving, but it clearly isn't because, 1, it's on paper. It's just a bunch of them put together that are just showing you at a rapid rate.
Mhm.
Mm.
Like stop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Would you think there would be a way to calculate how fast something is moving in the flip book?
Oh yeah, you would just take those over like standard amount of time and kinda calculate that way. Like, I feel like that's how they do it for like the way I think about it is the police, like, airplanes, like, the prop like, they're, like, straight up, like,
Oh, yeah.
Cessnas,
Yeah, yeah,
and they
yeah.
have the little marks on the road, and they just take a video or, like, snapshots of your car going through the lines,
Yeah, yeah.
and that's how they're able to determine how fast you get from line to the next.
Mm.
Like, if it takes 5 seconds to get from dash mark 1 to dash mark 10.
Mhm.
What do you think the standard time for a flip like flipping the flip book?
I mean, you
60 frames per second.
60
yeah,
frames
60
a
FPS.
second.
Mario Kart 8, 60.
I don't even know if you could do 60 pages, like, flipping. I guess you
Nah,
could.
no, you can it's probably like
A machine
probably like
probably could.
15,
I don't think your finger
probably
could.
like 15 at most.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
That should be awesome if you can fucking flip a flip book at 60 pages a second.
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
You just get like a flip book and like you're doing it, it's like 30 frame or like 20 frames per second, it's all choppy, right? It's a fucking stick figure. Now watch this and you flip it 30 frames of fucking Call of Duty and shit, first person.
Just Fortnite. Dude, build it. Crazy.
So with the idea of a flip book, if an object like a bullet is always motionless, how does it ever reach its target? I mean, we had kind of talked about, or I had mentioned it, but how would an object ever reach its target if it's never moving?
multiple.
Boom, mic drop right there.
Bam. Look at that. You need more than one instant. You can't perceive stuff in
Without
one singular instant in order for it to be moving.
The real question is, what started the first movement in the universe? You know, like,
was it the bang?
was it the bang? Was it time itself? Was it a
It
different?
was a flip book.
Was it a
Was
different
it a flip book?
dimension? You know, because like with the time thing, time. What does time only exist? Is does time only exist if there is an object, or do we each have our own individual time because we're motion? Because we have motion, I guess you could say. Which technically we kind of do. We all have like our own individual time if we're all going through life at a different pace.
Yeah. I I don't know. Maybe
Kind of like how we all have our own gravity, you know?
yeah. Maybe time has to or only exist because we're able to create. I have no idea.
Because like let's say before, I guess I mean there's something before the Big Bang,
Yeah, it was another Big Bang.
but like what would be the like if there was no Big Bang, right? And there was just kinetic, or like, I don't know if kinetic energy or not, but if there was just nothing, would there be time? If there's like a universe of just darkness, like would time exist, or does time is time like dependent on matter to exist?
I feel like it has to depend on matter because, like the thing we were saying about the black hole earlier, because it's so dense, pulls on time so much, it slows down
Mhm.
the speed of time on that planet. So I think like the density of the matter, what slows down the time. So if there is no matter at all, is it like like an infinite amount of time is passing in a second, or is it
No
like
time at all is
no time
passing.
at all?
I wonder if it works like a siphonophore, which is a type of animal. The Portuguese man of war is called a siphonophore. It's a bunch of organisms put together to make one organism.
You said the what?
The whole time.
Portuguese man of
Oh,
war.
Portuguese. It's Alex Pereira.
Yeah,
Wow.
Portuguese man of war.
This shit says, I just typed in, do we each have our own set of time? He said, it was AI, but it said, no, we don't. Each have our own. Okay, no, we don't have our each. I can't even fucking talk. We don't have our own set of time like we do gravity. While gravity is a force that affects all objects in the universe, time is a universal constant, meaning it flows at the same rate for everyone
But that's
in the same
only
reference frame.
but but that's only if you use universal time,
Yeah,
Mhm.
which
that's
we
not a
don't.
thing.
We use a global time.
Gravity and time. While time is universal, it's affected by gravity through a phenomenon called gravitational time dilation, where
Yeah,
time
Yeah.
passes slightly
time
slower
dilation.
in stronger gravitational fields.
So
And
you get
also
around a couple
radiation.
big bitches. Time's gonna be real.
Yeah, imagine two people, one standing on Earth and the other in a spaceship orbiting Earth. While the person in the spaceship might experience time passing slightly faster due to the weaker gravitational field, they would still experience time flowing at the same rate compared to each other within their respective time reference frame. That makes sense.
I think like radiation also has a big part on like how time moves.
How would this
I guess
work?
aging.
How would this work? If we can get like let's say the black hole theory, right? Like a civilization in a black hole. What if someone from the civilization outside that black hole is on like a call with their friend right next to them? They're like, "Oh, I'm gonna go to this planet," and still on the phone with them, they go to this other planet, and they could let's say the connection is still there. How would that work when it comes to time? Would the person listening to them just experience like hear them and just experience their time relative to them, or would they like hear this nigga running like sounding like he's running at like a million miles an hour, or like
I think it'd be like that.
I'm sure it's not possible because
Well,
like
obviously
your
not.
fucking shit
You're
would
having
break.
signals bounce
Well, I
back and
don't know
forth, and back and forth.
because if you were on the moon and we were on a phone call, if phones worked on the moon, It would
They
take
do, don't they? Or no, I don't know phones,
like
but like
it's like
they
satellite.
communicate.
satellite stuff does, yeah,
Yeah.
but like a regular cell phone
Yeah,
does.
yeah.
If we were to call each other, everything would take one word, like one instance, would take 8 minutes to get to the moon.
True.
I thought that was the sun. That's
Oh,
8 minutes.
maybe it is
And I
light.
think the moon's like 1. Like 1.
Yeah, the sun's like 8 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so it is light. I'm thinking, or
Or
is
the
it,
sun's rays. It was like the sun rays.
or
Yeah,
is
the sun.
audio? I knew they did a TV thing, and it took a bunch of time for the audio frequency to get from Earth, like from NASA to the moon, and then vice versa.
It takes light 1.3 seconds to travel between the Earth and the so it
Okay,
takes,
we're talking about audio. We're talking
right,
about
but doesn't
no
Radio or audio is even
Oh,
slower.
audio's
slower, that's right.
763
60 gigahertz.
miles an hour or something like that. And the only reason I know is
Speed
because
of
the car that
sound.
broke
Speed
the
of
sound.
sound,
Yeah.
yeah. Damn.
So, but what if you have audio that breaks the speed of sound?
Then you can't hear it.
Blow someone's eardrum out.
What if you have a sound?
It's like a puff of
Okay,
air.
what if I have, right? Here, no one laugh. If I have like this cylinder, right, or like this metal device, right, and it's moving at the speed of sound or past the speed of sound, but I have a voice box inside of that talking, what happens?
You can't hear anything.
Yeah.
No sound is made.
If a fucking the thing is going through the speed of sound and has speakers going out in the back, where you hear just, or
I don't
would you
think you'll hear anything.
the dude scream like or whatever, you know, like
No, I'm pretty sure you don't hear anything. Oh, okay. I think I get what you're saying now.
Radio
Now,
signals, including those from satellites, travel to the moon at the speed of light.
how does that work?
you
Well,
said. Wait,
there's
what did
no
you say?
friction.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
no friction in space.
Wait,
So
what did you say though?
it takes the same amount of time. The radio waves travel at the speed of light in outer space because there's no friction, like from the atmosphere. So there's no air for it to cut through. It can just go. It's no
Yeah,
forces.
So they move so sound moves at the speed of light.
Yeah,
because
in
it's
space.
no mass.
There's no. Yeah, it's mass. I
They're
thought.
massless and
I
there's no
thought there
friction.
was.
I call cappuccino on that. To be
It's
honest.
weird.
Hey man, what is this Google AI says?
I go cappuccino. So we do know something that moves fast or just as fast as the speed of light. Sound.
Yeah.
But
So
why does it not emit light?
so listen, my brain just so this is how we move at the speed of sound, right? We make like a ship with sails and
There's no
someone just
wind and
talks. Or like we get vibrations, right? To
Yeah.
fucking vibrate the sails to move at the speed of light.
Let's put a
Crazy,
magic
bro.
wand behind.
Mhm.
So I get what you're trying to say, but the problem is, I don't remember what the phenomenon is called, but if I was to throw a baseball in space, I will move backwards and the baseball will stay in one spot.
Yeah, because you're putting
'Cause you're pushing against
I'm
it,
pushing.
technically.
I'm pushing against the baseball in a frictionless area.
Yeah.
It's something like that. I think
Yeah.
the sound would work the same way. The guy talking would move
it
further
just
away from
crashes
the
back
ship.
into Earth.
Yeah, yeah. It gets
Unless
fucking
he's
stuck.
strapped. It's probably fuck.
It would look hilarious. And then the ship would go backwards.
Like this idea. Those are
Dude, solar sail.
if we could
Insane.
figure out how to make fucking massive ones that won't get fucking raped by astronauts,
Yeah.
that could travel closer to the speed of light.
What's that? You just have a flashlight, you just fucking fling it.
No, you use the light from the sun.
Yeah.
But the problem is when you get interstellar away from the star, power.
You just go
Yeah.
to another sun.
Yeah, but the distance between our sun and another sun is
I'm saying
so
you just
Like a light
calculate it.
year away.
You just calculate it. But like how long would it take for you to lose that speed?
I don't know. Thing is, you have to.
Well, you would never lose it.
Yeah.
Because
The friction.
space doesn't have any friction.
Yeah.
It's
so
frictionless.
But the thing is, they also have to calculate, like, if you're launching to one fucking galaxy, you have to calculate the exact distance to leave Earth from to get to where the galaxy or the sun you're wanting to go to is gonna be.
You know what's funny? There's this
I don't
it's
know
not
what the
funny,
next
it's kinda-
solar system
it's kind of depressing,
would
but
be.
there's this show on Netflix called Love, Death, and Robots or
Oh,
whatever.
I love that one.
There's an episode where it's like interstellar travel or whatever, like it's a common thing. But this group of space rangers pretty much like I guess someone did an error on the calculations. I don't know if they were off by like a little bit, but that little bit, like that couple inches they were off by fucking sent them light years away from their destination or whatever.
Mm.
So I was thinking with like that sunlight shit or whatever, like we use in the sun rays or whatever. If you miss that calculation, like or you don't like factor in something like a gravitational pull that's gonna influence your movement, like that could
Pick you
be
off balance.
tragic. Yeah, that could be like a tragic
And then you get
fucking
stuck in space. No sun to
no
Man,
propel you.
sun. You get fucking thrown in a black hole. Like,
you would never age though if the radiation from the sun didn't age you.
what are you talking about?
The sun is what makes you age. The radiation from it. If you were to go away from the sun, you wouldn't age like at all.
I
Doesn't
don't believe
gravity
that. To
also
be
age you?
honest, I
I
don't
thought
believe that.
gravity also.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
does. Yeah, because it
gravity, there's
pulls
lots-
on.
Right, but if you're going fast enough, you would create
Yeah,
you would create gravity in the machine you're in from the speed. It would create gravity in
But
it,
if you're in the middle, then you don't feel the gravity.
but you're still attached. Like you wouldn't just you have to be somehow attached to the machine, whether you're in the contain like you have to be contained somehow.
Yeah.
So you'd still be affected by the machine.
I feel like you're
force.
all. I feel like you'll always be aging. I think your age will just be slowed down. Like, honestly.
Probably.
Yeah,
I mean, I
significantly.
guess it could be slowed down to the point where it's like
You're
you're
shedding
essentially like,
cells.
yeah, like your cells is what's kind of aging technically.
Yeah.
But there are things that can
your
like speed it up.
cells die because of the radiation from the sun.
I don't think so.
Really?
Yeah, it's
I feel like
it's what kills
naturally-
them.
I know.
The
I don't.
radiation is what kills them. That's why you get sunburnt.
Well, then Jamie's gonna live really long.
Yeah, so she should outlive all of us.
Yeah.
Well,
True.
I don't think that's. I do agree with you to an extent. Like, I do think the sun
can't age.
can age you and like poisons you. I do agree with that, but I
Like
think
it's not the main.
yeah, I think it just like influences your
It can speed
life
it up.
expectancy. You know, like it lowers it. You know what I'm saying? Just
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
way you eat kind of lowers it. But when we're talking about like not like your cells like dying off, that probably does play a factor in it, right? But I think it also is a natural thing where your cells like
But
kill
if you
themselves
can always
because they duplicate. And one, when they duplicate and they have a fucking error or whatever, they're supposed to kill themselves with apoptosis.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And when that doesn't happen, they're like, "No, I just want to duplicate over and over again, even though I have this error. That's
Mhm.
cancer."
Yeah.
But your cells are supposed to die, and you're supposed to get new ones or whatever. But from what I understood, when you get old, your body like because there's no way for you to like dispose of the dead cells.
Right,
So your
right.
body kind of just like that, and your body can't pretty much reproduce new cells because it's running out of room. And on top of that, the cells that you have now are like so corrupted, I guess you could say, from the mistakes that it didn't catch itself
Right.
at a younger or at like a younger stage, if that makes sense. I don't know. There's a lot of shit that goes with that shit. Is that shit I smell?
Probably.
Yeah, it's this cat. I smell like the sand and shit. too.
Ripping ass.
That's why I was like, bro, immortality, like a lot of this shit has to do with like your cells and like
But the cells only die because they don't have any I'm gonna say food, quote unquote, there to keep them
nutrients
alive.
or whatever.
Yeah. So they have to die.
But also, if they went on forever, eventually you get infected. Even
Yeah.
if you lived in a sterile field,
Yeah.
you would still get infected
Like
By
your
what?
cells have to like die, right?
by
Like,
the cells themselves. But eventually, like you can't be completely sterile all the time.
What in the cells would cause them to become cancerous?
cause them to become cancerous?
Yeah, that's when a cell goes I'm gonna say goes rogue, it becomes cancerous. Like when a cell becomes infected, it's cancer.
Well, our body's
Oh.
natural function is to continue to shed, grow new cells until we get to that point
But
where
why
we
does it do that? Because of the fucking sun.
What? It sheds cells because of the sun?
Yeah, because the sun irradiates the skin cells, and
Okay.
then causes them to become cancerous.
But,
That,
like
that's
Okay.
why when you get sunburn, it's a type of cancer.
Yeah, no, yeah. That is true. Like I had my doctor was warning me because she was like, "Oh, you play football." When I was younger, "Oh, you play football, you know, you have potential to get skin cancer, right? Like you,
'Cause
yeah, because you're outside and you know you're light or whatever." But yeah, that is true. But I don't think because then in that sense, then why not just stay inside and like then you're
Because radiation can still travel through shit.
that's true.
the thing I'm thinking is like to be in the completely sterile room, you still have to be like clean yourself. You have to take showers and everything because you're producing oils that will eventually lead to an insterile field.
Okay.
So if you are constantly, like, scrubbing your body, you're shedding off cells, so your body has to replace those anyway. So it's
Yeah, them skin cells, all that stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
like dandruff is just your dead skin. Like, your body's natural function is to replace the cells no matter what, so kinda how it's gonna go. That's how I'm thinking about it. Like, I don't disagree that they'll probably come off slower, but I still think your body's natural function continue to throw out.
The hard
Cells die for various reasons, including programmed cell death, apoptosis, during development when no longer needed, accidental death, necrosis due to injury or
yeah,
disease, or as a result of aging or cellular damage.
Which fun. Oh,
So during normal development, cells that are no longer needed or that are a threat to the organism are eliminated through a tightly regulated process called apoptosis. Um, Cells that are damaged or infected trigger apoptosis to prevent the spread of damage. So that goes with your thing with like if it's damaged because of the sun,
yeah,
it's gonna kill itself.
yeah,
Or if it doesn't kill itself and it's just fucking damaged and keeps reproducing, the other keeps reproducing fucking damaged
damaged shit,
cells.
yeah,
That's cancer, right?
yep,
Injury or death, inflammation. These are accidental deaths for the cells.
yeah.
Other cell death pathways. The fuck? Auto. How do you pronounce that word? This one. Autophagy. Phagy is a process where cells breaks down their own components to survive during periods of stress or nutrient deficiency. Pyrotosis is a type of inflammation cell death that occurs in response to certain types of infections. Panoptosis is a unique inflammatory cell death pathway that integrates components from other cell death pathways. What the fuck? Yeah, then you have like cancer, autoimmune disease, neurodegenerative diseases, and aging.
I
As
wonder
cells
how
age, they may accumulate damage and become more prone to dying.
if you were to put ourselves in space so far out that we can't even perceive the sun, and we see it as a star. I mean, it's a star, but I don't, I don't think because I don't think your skin would produce the oils it's supposed to, because it only does that to protect itself from the sun. Or
well, and outside, like, bacteria.
yeah, yeah, and those bacterias only exist because they're in the golden whatever fucking field.
Mhm.
The Goldilocks zone, yeah.
Yeah, Goldilocks zone. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
I know. Fuck. I'm gonna botch the shit out of this, but I know like one of the most like longest life expectancies was like somewhere. I think it was actually somewhere near the equator in like Mexico or some shit like that. Um, and I remember hearing this a long ass time ago. I don't know how true it is, but like, um,
Oh yeah, like people
I
live
think I
to
took
like
it like
100 and something, right?
yeah. I think I took in happiness and health, or not happiness and like health in like high school or whatever. And like one of the like major factors was like your where you're at on the planet, your natural foods, like eating,
Yeah.
not eating processed shit, eating like natural grown shit, like local and shit like that, because they had like their own like farm or whatever they would eat. Um, but all that plays into like aging and cell. Because my assumption is take away like disease or like I guess infection or whatever,
Right.
like natural death, like a heart attack. I don't know about heart attack, but like
Yeah, yeah, cancer is technically the only death that there exists aside from, like, being shot. But everything eventually turns to cancer, and that's why uh, cancer is just, an infection of the cell. That's all it is.
heart disease.
Yeah.
Um, But like, if you can, that's why I was like, I feel that's why when I learned that shit about cells, I'm like, that's one of the reasons why we die is because our cells are bad. The older we get, the worse our cells are. I was like, bro, T cells are fucking OP. So I was like, bro, if we could figure out a way to like kind of
Stem cells?
flush, or my bad, stem cells, not T cells, yeah, stem cells. If we could like flush out the bad cells and replace them with good ones and just have like a process of that always going, we could essentially like always be in our prime biologically, you know, and like always stay healthy and maybe like never stop aging or
Dude, you
like
could. You
like
could
physically
totally be
stop
that.
aging, you know. Um, I don't know. I was like that's to me that's what immortality would. I mean, you still can get shot in the head and die, but like natural
I
death
think,
would be gone for the most part, I guess.
the brain is what would stop you because stem cells don't have the ability to, recreate, brain matter. They have a problem developing the brain,
Mm.
and I think it's because a different type of cell is what develops the brain.
Why don't we get that one?
Because I don't think
It
you.
probably is only created in the
So,
brain, so you gotta take it from someone who's alive.
yeah, like
Yeah,
someone going through development or some shit.
Mhm.
yeah, I don't think you could take it from a fetus that's having its brain developed. I don't think it works that way. I think you'd have to take it from somebody that's like literally living.
The primary cells that build and function within the brain are neurons, also
Yeah,
like
but neuron itself is
those.
not a type of cell. It's made of a bunch of cells.
Yeah. The fuck? Neurons and glia, derived from the Greek word of glue, provide support structure. Fuck.
Who knows? We're over here debating time, how time even works, how we perceive time, which is still related to us talking about motion and how it works. But yeah, going on
Mhm.
about the siphonophore thing that I was talking about, which is um a bunch of organisms to make one. I think that's how time works. So like, or how they're saying it works here is time works with a bunch of instances combined to then make time or something like that.
Right.
And the problem, like with that theory or whatever, is it's not continuous, whereas the siphonophore thing is continuous. Like the organisms can die in the siphonophore, but they'll like replicate themselves. They'll like copy themselves. They work like a cell because I think they are cells. They're single cell organisms, something like that.
I'm a fucking shitty friend, bro. Be honest. Oh shit.
What?
I'm a shitty friend. I'll tell you off stream. I'll tell you off stream.
And that's crazy.
Yeah.
Uh, Videos, like the one that somebody might be watching right now, if they're watching on YouTube, are several still frames shown in rapid succession. Could reality be the same where we see in frame or similar to frame?
I think so. I think so to an extent, yeah. I think maybe when you get close I hate saying that, so I think. When you
Say
get
I know, so you're
I
confident.
know. I know when you go to a black hole because I've seen it. Time gets like distorted. I mean, it's like when you go into a black hole and you see your feet get spaghettified and like they kind of like
You
infinitely
stretch
go
out.
out.
Yeah.
Like you're essentially seeing time in a fucked up state. You know what I'm saying? Or I guess even when you see a star or like a light, like you're seeing the star in like a stilled.
You're just seeing an instant of
Yeah,
the
yeah. You're
star.
seeing
You're
an
seeing a
instance
moment
of
of the
the
star,
yeah.
like
So like,
a million-year-old image of the star.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. The craziest thing is the frame rate, if we were to see in frame rates or frames,
Mm-hmm.
would have to be so incredibly high. It would be like several like millions of frames a second. Because if you do the thing, like said that you can't see above 60 frames a second, like the average person, right?
Mhm.
Well,
Mhm.
when they did the study, they found that like most people could if they made the frame rate high enough. So doing from 60 frames to 120 for the average person, they couldn't see, but if you went from 60 to 240, then they could see the difference.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
When I go from my 140 monitor to my 60 FPS TV or 50, whatever,
Yeah,
I can
5994.
see the slowness of refresh. Like, I can see it. Like, if I was playing, like, Madden or something, I can tell that there's a choppiness to it.
Mm-hmm.
So if I go back to my 140 monitor, then it looks smooth, whereas when it would just choppy on my TV. But the thing is, I have two I have 265 monitors for my sim rig. I can't see the difference between my 265 and my one.
Okay. So is it like a scaling thing in a way where it's like because you can see the difference between like 5 frame, 15 frame,
Mhm.
25 frame. I mean, when I work on Blaster Boy, I'm working at 6.
Mhm.
No, I think it's actually a lot less. To be honest, I think it's a lot less than that. But like I'm doing it frame by frame, right? So like of course it's choppy because it's pixel art.
Yeah.
Um, but then when I go to like 30 frames a second, right? Like I can see the difference. When I go to 60 frames a second, I could see it's a lot smoother. Um,
It's
in 120 frames, you can't really see the difference. But then when you go
Like
to
it's a
two,
linear scale, like it goes like the
yeah,
exponential curve and then
yeah,
it flats out.
yeah, and then kind of like, but it kind of does it still kind of go up though? But it
so it
just
still goes up, but it's kind of small. You have to really see a jump. Like if you go from 60 frames a second to 240, yeah, you can definitely see that. But to see the next difference, you have to go from 240 to 540.
see that. Yeah, okay, that
Oh,
makes
okay.
sense.
So you
So
have to
it's
like
more of
It
like
has
a
to be a
double.
huge jump.
yeah.
Yeah. Because my 144 to my 240 or 250, whatever. I
I wonder.
It
Mine's
doesn't-
165.
I wonder what the difference is. Like what the is it just gonna look like way more smoother and like way more fucking like silky or whatever? I don't know.
It looks like it's happening in real life. Like
Yeah,
it
okay.
like
That's
yeah.
it looks like it's moving in real time.
You have no.
Yeah, it's smooth. Yeah, it's
It just
so
looks
well put
smoother.
together.
Like
huh.
like when you're lagging, you know how things look choppy. It's
Yeah.
kind of like that. That's how I picture it. Because like
Instead of the strobe light going off at whatever fucking rate the strobe light's going at, it's basically if they just kept the light on the whole time.
like uh like I can play Minecraft on my TV and switch like easily between my monitors. I don't know if it's just like the art style that makes it easier to process,
Yeah, because it's blocky.
uh, or what, but it's like easy. But if I were to play a shooter, my reaction times are much slower.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Or like even
Yeah.
Madden, my reaction times are slower. Like I'd get fucking stacked like nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know.
So reactions are slower when it's more choppy.
Yeah, when it's
Yeah, when it's
slower
slower.
FPS.
Even
Slower
at
FPS,
60
okay.
FPS.
Even like when Jonas was telling me when I was like a youngin that I need to like
Get
higher
better.
or FPS, like higher refresh rate, like good, and that you can tell the difference. I'm thinking about like, fuck, yeah, it's a TV. A TV's a TV.
Mm-hmm.
It's just an image, and then I get my higher refresh rate one, and I go back to like a shittier one. I'm like, that's insane.
I think that's what really gets you is if you go to a higher one and you're like, I don't really see a difference. Well, after you've played on the higher one for a while
Yeah.
and then go to the slower one, you're like, holy shit.
I remember when we had been playing PS4 for years, and then we went back to the PS3 that one day. We're like, we played this and thought this was
the
so
input
real.
lag was so bad.
Insane.
I
And
wonder.
now PC's like,
I wonder if you. I wonder if it kind of like you're at an advantage. I guess not technically because you're not. But I was gonna say like mentally, I guess would you be at an advantage playing on a lower FPS? I
Would-
guess mentally.
Would you be at a disadvantage?
An advantage, like I don't know, because you're gonna be at a disadvantage because your shit's not refreshing at the same. But you're kind of like
are you saying
fighting at like a disadvantage. So when you go up to 60 frames, you're already used to like the disadvantage.
no. And the reason
Why do you pronounce that?
No, he's about to hit a different word after that. Oh,
Yeah.
that end there. Whoa.
No, they did a test on this. Like there was like a scientific test on something similar to this.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason is because your brain has to retrain itself for the
I'm sorry,
higher
I'm still thinking about that.
No.
your brain has to retrain itself for the higher refresh rate stuff or higher like level of thing.
Okay.
It's like a totally new thing.
Like,
Unless it's a small thing, then
But what if you're
you can
used to
adapt
both?
faster.
But what if you're kind of used to both? Like, let's say like you're a fucking Call of Duty competitive player, and you're like, I'm just gonna go to 30 frames just to like train, like in practice and shit. I'm just gonna train.
to
And
train
then
at a disadvantage.
yeah, to train at
I
a
think it
disadvantage.
messes up your muscle memory
I think
because
it
your
would.
muscle
Oh,
memory is
yeah.
trying
You're
to
used
That's
to the
true.
smoothness.
detect the input.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you'd
that's
probably
true.
go either too past or too far past or too short.
True.
'Cause I remember, and it was like everything was too like I couldn't react fast enough
Mm-hmm.
to compensate for the frame because things
I think-
of course were coming in slower.
I think I get like that when I play Destiny on my TV. and then go to my monitors, I think my thumb will start to overcorrect when I go to my monitors because it's trying to detect the
The slowness.
latency. Yeah, of going from 60 frames to 165.
Yeah, when you go from the higher to the lower, you kinda feel more, but I feel like if when you're going from lower to higher, you kinda feel like, oh,
Yeah,
'cause it's probably just so much.
yeah, it's not a
Like,
it feels the same because you don't know what to look for, I think.
I remember when I went up and I was like, "Man, should I really have paid $300 for fucking Samsung Odyssey?" And then I went back and I fucking played on my TV. I was like, "Oh, yeah, that monitor was well worth it."
A guy I work with had came over. I had to fix something on their PS5 or their PS5 controller. No, I
Mhm.
had to fix something on their PS5, and then I showed them Destiny on my monitor because I was playing it on the TV,
Mhm.
and I'm like, this doesn't feel right. This feels like 30 FPS. This like feels way fucking wrong. And they were like, "What do you mean? This is how it always is." And I'm like, "You want to see what the game's like actually supposed to look like?" So we went and showed them there. Like, what the hell? Like it's so smooth. I'm like, yeah, feels wrong. Okay.
Oh, shit.
Talking about like the whole pictures and videos thing, there is a mathematical way to find it. It's using calculus.
Okay.
Do you think we could use a calculus equation to determine an object's motion in a picture?
Yeah.
Which, how do you think that'd be done?
I don't know calculus. I'm gonna be honest, but I watched a lot of film theorists or game theorists on YouTube, and I don't know how accurate their calculations are. They could just be telling me bullshit, but they're like, based off this pixel, one pixel across is equal to like 2 meters. So he's running at exactly 2 meters per second. This isn't like
Your Minecraft character is insanely fast.
I think you could use references.
I think so too.
Like if I'm looking at I don't know, let's say a football field, right? Like 10 yards, and I see someone. I'm like at a bird's eye view, and I see someone like running across, like frame by frame. You could probably do calculations to figure out how fast he was going. Maybe I don't know what the calculation would be
Yeah.
necessarily, but I feel like you definitely could calculate that.
Yeah, the way I was thinking about it is if I put up like a wall of smoke and then threw a baseball or something through the smoke and took a picture of the baseball like with a smoke trail,
Mhm.
you could detect how fast the baseball was going based on the trail of smoke that the baseball made.
Oh, I mean, you probably could base it off to like the frame rate, like how fast the camera is taking the picture.
Yeah, yeah.
I think you could also like that. You would calculate that and be like, all right.
Yeah, into it, yeah.
Well, this thing, yeah, kind of like what you said earlier about like the traffic shit. Like you could, the photo could, depending on how fast it gets to this line, it will track like how
Yeah,
fast
yeah,
you're
yeah.
going. Just shit like that.
Yeah, it's like the mile markers that you'll see on the highway. They'll say speedometer check. Say mile 0, mile 1, mile 2, mile 3, mile 5. What you're supposed to do is set your cruise control to 60 miles an hour and then start a timer at the same time. When you hit the mile marker 0, you hit the timer at going 60 miles an hour. By the time you get to the 1 mile marker, you should be it should be 1 minute exactly that has passed.
Should
Yeah, should have been. If your speedometer's off, then it won't be exactly a minute. But there can also be error with you hitting start on the timer.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Why do you think people still debate how time works?
'Cause we
'Cause
don't have the, like, absolute,
I don't even think we could ever find the answer. I don't think it's possible.
not us.
I don't think we
us
have
as in
the
like our generation or
Yeah,
whatever.
no, not in this.
yeah.
Oh,
Just
you
sim-
never know.
It would be an
Shit's
insane break.
yeah, yeah, it would be crazy breakthrough. The problem is there's so many holes in every theory on how time works. We just have to use a relative one, the closest one. We're like, yeah, we think that works.
Question is time even real? Like, how do we know it's real? It's
Actually,
just
we
not made
don't.
up, you know?
We don't. We just suspect that it's part of a dimension. That's it.
Part of our dimension, like, 3
Yeah,
So, like, the
yeah,
question is,
it's x dimensions plus 1, and the plus 1 is always time.
Oh, so if you go to the fourth time supply.
Yeah. Yeah, time applies
Oh,
in
so
all dimensions.
apply time
Yeah.
even to ant.
Yeah, they're a
But
little
is
more.
time even real, or is it just something that we just made up in our head? You
It's
know?
probably something we made up in our head to.
I think we
Like-
made it up in our head to make things easier to understand.
Yeah, like why is 2 o'clock p.m. always always like sunny? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or like always day. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like who
unless you're
decided
on
that?
a pole.
Yeah, unless you're or in Alaska during dark. You know,
Yeah.
why do we have
Crazy.
daylight savings? You know, why can't they just wake up
Man,
early?
that shit is so crazy.
Why don't they just wake up early?
You know,
Or like go to, you know what I'm saying?
It's, the daylight savings has with crop growing.
crop
It's like
growing.
a
and-
farming
You know that's what I'm saying?
And
Like
then
why can't
also-
they just move back?
thing. Yeah.
Like why do we gotta all do it?
And then also, like how bright it is during. Like if we don't do it,
You
it
will
would
get
be
depressed.
like dark at like 4 p.m. That like
It happened
forever.
Yeah.
What
It'll be dark forever.
just be the time like
It's like the
our
it's like
scale
the
time-
leap year where like it kind of corrects itself.
Yeah,
the
similar to
leap year
that.
corrects the fucking. I don't
Yeah.
know crazy thing about fucking moving the time back and forward and shit, whatever the fuck we call it.
Yeah, daylight savings
Daylight saving. A lot of people have heart attacks.
because like the stress.
Puts extra stress on your heart if you have to wake up earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, wild.
So a lot
Now,
of
why do we do
crazy.
that to ourselves? Because crop growing, bro. Suck my dick.
Well, but it was like
grow
made
the corn in the dark.
several like generations ago.
And
A
now
lot.
it's just tradition.
Yeah, and then we keep it. Now I know that we're trying to get rid of it because we proved that we don't need it anymore. There's no reason
Now
for
here's
it.
a question: if that ever happens, where we like kind of get rid of it, do we keep on the hour ahead, or do we keep the hour behind?
I think there's a state. I think
Arizona,
Arizona.
yeah.
That said they're no longer use
They
daylight
say, get
savings.
the fuck out of here. We're not using. That's not their accent.
That's
but,
right.
but they're like, we're not using this
Boston.
shit. No, we're not using this shit.
Let's use
We
the
grow our shit
backwards
indoors
time.
anyway.
Who do you think's more offended by that act? People from Boston. Or
Probably like Spider-Man. I don't know.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
You gotta find me Spider.
Peter, we need to find Spider-Man.
We gotta find Spider-Man. The Daily Bugle. Give me a picture of Spider-Man and lingerie now. Like, all right.
Oh my god.
He's gonna be at the Diddy party. Get there.
Give me a picture of Spider-Man. Oiled up 4K.
Oil up 4K. Getting murdered by
Get him.
Diddy in the back room.
Get him with Diddy and me.
Oh, shit.
The Daily Bugle. That nigga's OP as fuck.
That was time.
I don't know. He's in multiple universes, so.
I don't know why we don't. I guess there's Zulu time. I guess that's Earth time.
Huh?
Zulu time. That's a universal time. That's what aircraft use. Aviation time.
Oh.
Yeah, it's where you get rid of like General Mountain Time, Pacific Time, whatever all the other times are that I can't think of time zones.
Okay.
Isn't the Green Mile time? That's what that is?
No, Zulu.
Oh.
Zulu is the Earth time.
Yeah.
The standard Earth time, and then everything else gets deviated from that.
What was Green Mile? Green
I guess it
Mile.
might
time.
also be called that. I've never called it that.
That's hilarious. That's a movie. With Tom Hanks. Is it the Green Mile time?
Brother, I've always been told Zulu time.
Oh my
Working with aircraft.
bro.
I have not a clue. But I don't really have anything else.
Green Mile time definition. Here we go.
We already know that
There we
the
go.
time does not
The
move in
concept,
instances.
bro. Why does it keep going to this fucking movie?
Because it's a movie.
Is Green Mile time even real? Did I make that up?
You might
It's
have
Greenwich.
Greenwich time.
I think
Green Witch time? What the hell Was that
I don't think that's what that is.
Greenwich Mean Time. GM.
General Mountain Time?
No, this one is Greenwich Mean Time.
Oh, that's might be what it is. Greenwich Mean Time. Yeah, that's what it is.
I looked up Zulu time and it says
Yeah, that's
Greenwich
what it is.
Mean
Why did I
Time.
think Green Mile? The fuck? Yeah, that's what it is. GMT.
Oh.
Zulu time is 5 hours ahead of New York.
Yeah, Zulu time is the Earth time.
And then New York
Who decided
time,
that? Who decided Earth has a
I have
time?
not a
And
fucking clue.
who's ahead? Not us, huh?
Australia.
Australia's number one?
I think Australia or Japan is ahead.
Yeah.
So Australia's like, no, it's Australia because all the fucking Call of Duty players, when it first comes out, they hop on Australia servers so they can be the
Yep.
first ones on there because they're a day ahead. So
Yep.
they get the game a day early.
Yeah,
Is that a benefit or is that like a disadvantage? To like I'm not talking about like the Call of
against
Duty
the
shit.
terms and service?
Oh, that's hilarious. No, I'm talking about like just I'm talking like living life. Would you rather live life ahead or behind? For
Behind.
instance, I love living on the West Coast because our games come out at 9:00, where and the East Coast comes out at midnight. So they gotta like stay up and shit.
Yeah.
We just get to shit. We get to play for a few hours, then we get to go to bed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In that sense, I would say that's a benefit. That's a dub.
Yeah.
But like
I
in
think going
life,
behind.
how would you prefer that to happen?
I think still behind because then you can see the mistakes that other people make that are ahead of time, and you can not make those mistakes.
Yeah, so that's why I call my brother up in Australia. Like, hey, what'd you do today? I fucked up on this. All right, cool. I won't do that. And then
He said I forgot to put my socks into Amazon.
Yes, I forgot to put my stock that dropped today. make sure you put that shit in before noon.
Bet all against Nvidia.
Bet all against the video. Yeah, the soccer game just happened, bro. They lost.
This is not marketing advice, by the way. Don't follow.
Put all your money on 29 on fucking roulette.
On roulette. 29 red.
No, 29 is
I
black.
was gonna say,
Yeah,
thinking-
29.
I don't fucking know.
No, put it on 0.
You put it on 0.
Put it on the green one.
You'll win every time.
I just looked up time zones and it pulled up.
That's
No,
crazy.
I want to look at the Earth time zone.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, we go on Zulu time and then there's universal time. There's also solar time or soul time, I think is what it is, where it's just our solar system. Something like that.
It's just our solar system.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the sun's time.
looks like New Zealand.
New Zealand.
New Zealand's the furthest ahead.
Yeah, well, it can't be that much further ahead than
Let me
Australia.
Let me
It's
try
good.
it.
They're
Let
right
me-
next to each other.
Who decided that? Is it because like how do you decide that?
I don't know.
Oh, dude, the things are all choppy. Like there's cuts in them. Like the zones will go like this and shit, and they'll just do zigzags.
This guy-
Crazy.
Some guy must have been bored as hell at home and said, no, he must have been high as shit and said, you know what?
In 1884, the International Meridian Conference in Washington, D.C. established the prime meridian at Greenwich time was adopted as the world standard time.
Yeah, Zulu.
So the astronomer Royal John Pond oversaw the setting up of the time ball at the Royal Observatory in Greenwich.
Do you think they did that when they were like,
Here we
Earth
go.
goes around or spins around one time in 23 hours and 59 minutes and how many ever
Right here.
milliseconds?
So John Flemstein came up with the formula for converting solar time to mean time and published a set of conversion tables in the early 1670s. Soon after, he was appointed the first astronomer royal and moved into the Royal Observatory in Greenwich. Because of the observatory's long-standing reputation for producing good quality data for navigation. That is bullshit.
Bogus.
I think something to do with all
And
that.
they said he's got a degree. We'll believe him.
Yeah, fuck.
A time standard based on Earth's rotation of the Earth, used as reference points for time zones worldwide. It is often indicated with an offset from UTC, Coordinated Universal Time, and is familiar to users. I don't know.
I don't know. Time's weird. So is motion. I don't have anything else. Do you guys got anything else?
It's all about the motion in the ocean. It's not about the size.
Motion in the ocean.
It's about how you use it, not about how big you are. But the
Yep.
girth does matter. So if you got a pencil dick, it's too bad.
Yeah, is that that's our advice for this episode?
Yeah, become a girth master.
You're a
I'm a
girth
girth
master.
master.
That's crazy.
That's wild.
It's crazy. How do you? What the fuck? I wasn't ready for that one.
He folded Jonas, bro. Jonas is folding, bro.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
shit.
I hope mom doesn't listen this far in.
Mom, I hope you're
She
listening.
does. She listens to the whole thing.
Ah,
The whole
Start
thing.
to finish.
I was talking about mega stuffed Oreos, mom.
Mega stuffing his girlfriend's pussy with Oreo.
Oh my
Oh
god.
shit, that's. What are you guys' thoughts on motion? Do you guys think it's real? Or you think it's all an illusion?
Motion is real.
Motion, time. Is time real? Is time independent?
Yeah,
Or is
what-
time dependent on motion? Do we
Oh
each
my
have our own
God.
time? I don't know.
Yeah,
Love to hear your comments down
let us know
below.
on the Spotify comments that I learned about.
The
Spotify
Spotify
has
comments.
comments?
Yeah, you can
Oh,
comment on it.
shit.
Also, comment on our Audible. You know,
I think SoundCloud picked that one.
Pay $9.99.99 for our
Yeah,
for
and
our,
rubles.
in ruble. Yeah.
I don't know what the translation from rubles to US dollars is though. But I think 99.99 is somewhere in the ballpark of $1 or something like that. I have no
Yeah,
idea.
for our Patreon.
Yeah.
follow our
Pay
Patreon.
9 million rubles for our Patreon.
Pay our,
monthly.
pay our Kickstarter
Yeah.
or GoFundMe
What's the other one? What
and
was
our
the
Make a
OG
Wish
one?
Foundation.
What was the
Make a
OG?
Wish
Make a
Foundation.
Wish.
What?
Meet John Cena. Heel John
He's
Cena.
healed now. He won't show up.
He won't-
Or he'll show up and just talk shit the whole time. You're undeserving.
Oh my.
Anyways, see you guys later. Bye bye.
Deuces.
See ya.